Now, what did the Inflation Reduction Act do for us? And then the current president, his signature legislation was the one big beautiful bill. Well, I call it the one big budget busting bill, because our own Congressional Budget Office, the government itself, says the big beautiful bill is going to add $4 trillion to the debt over 10 years. So if they had truth in advertising, it would be the big budget busting bill. So you're right. And Nancy Pelosi, didn't she one time say, we'll see what's in the bill after we pass it? Yeah.
We got to pass it to know what's in it.
Yeah, we got to pass the bill to know what's in it. Yeah.
I think it's kind of ironic.
I'm not doing that.
They both went for the BBB. It was Build Back Better and Big Beautiful Bill. I'm I thought you didn't like Homeboy. Why you all up on his BBB stuff, bro? This is weird to me.
Well, I told you, Marcus, my name is, I'm a BBB. I'm Beach Bum Bill.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
I love the coastal, the lowlands of South Carolina. It was just a really cool vibe, and I love fishing and eating such things. And South Carolina, it was on the list of retirement locations in 9 to 12 years when I'm done with California. But the hurricane possibility is kind of like, with earthquakes, I could go about my day and I'll be surprised. Hurricanes, they're coming.
That's true. We do know they're coming now.
Yeah, you guys are fortunate in that regard. But actually, and this is to your nuclear background, because there's no more nuclear. I think New Mexico has the most nuclear weapons in the United States, but northern New Mexico, they don't get hurricanes, they don't get earthquakes. Only thing they have is fires. But I'm that's towards the top of my list of places to retire. But anyway, I'm going to go back to Free because he's had some great questions tonight. I'm really happy you're here tonight, Free. You've done my heart well. You're somewhat of an unreasonable person, and it's kind of hard to get along with you, but you're doing a great job tonight, which is shocking to me. That's why I want to hand you the mic.
I'm refreshed from vacation, so
there it is.
I'm in a rare good mood, spent some time with Amity and family in the lovely city of Chicago that gets so much positive press on the internet, and it just had such a great time. So Bill, you propose unlimited free work visas for both high-skilled and low-skilled workers. Why have the government involved at all at that point? And why wouldn't you just let peaceful people have free movement and come and work if they so desire?
Yeah, I tell people, especially libertarians, if I took the libertarian purity test, I probably would get about an 80 or a 90, because there are a couple of issues where I'm not quite as libertarian. I do believe nations should have borders. I don't think we're to the place where the whole world can be one Shangri-La. So I do think we have to have borders. I do think our immigration system is incredibly chaotic and ridiculous. You've probably seen they just arrested some folks for thousands of sham marriages, and we've created that problem, and we shouldn't even be in that business. I'm trying to use that proposal to get us from this chaos and this violence over immigration to getting us farther down the road, closer to what you've laid out, to where we do have free movement of people across borders. I think we should start with, let me back up just a little bit more. As a problem solver, one of the issues we have is demographic. Our country, our birth rate is approaching below replacement. We have cut down on immigration so much. The numbers from the government just this week showed the labor participation rate and the size of the labor force is down 1 million people. That's a lot. So we need people. So I'm all in favor of getting more folks here from other countries. What I want to focus on right now to get out of the chaos is let's have employers help us get there by saying, we need these jobs that are high skilled. We need these jobs that are low skilled. Let's find those people and have the employers help us vet the folks that we want to come into this country. In the meantime, I do think we have to slow down on 100% yes on asylum. You tell me that people are being mean to you in Guatemala, so come on into the United States and just come on in, or the temporary protected status. I think we need to cut down on those to get us out of the chaos. So that's why I was proposing using the system that only system, part of the system we have that works. Use it to get us out of this chaos, and then we can start moving towards even more freedom of movement. So I look at it as an interim step.
So then
I definitely don't want to see one more penny spent on a border wall. They're tearing up one of the national parks now to build a border wall along the Rio Grande. I would never fund any of that. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, but they're going to spray paint it gold and put Trump's name on it. So it'll be beautiful. Yeah. So what would you say to somebody that's just entering the workforce now, that's got 6 figures of debt because the education system's completely out of control, and now, companies can just replace them with, high skilled labor from countries that, don't embezzle all of the education money?
Well, first of all, I'd go back and fix the root cause of why they got so much student debt. Now, it won't help the person that's got it now, but Barack Obama broke the student loan program. He totally took private enterprise out of student loans, made it 100% government. And so what did the schools do? Oh, the government's going to guarantee all the loans, plus people get unlimited amount of money. I'm going to jack my prices up so fast your head will spin. And that's why we have student loan debt. So that's the first thing I do, is stop putting all these students in debt by taking the government totally out of student loans, zero student loans from the government, and let Wells Fargo, Bank of America handle the risk.
That money was going to go to Obamacare, though, and was going to bring healthcare costs down. So I mean, it really worked.
No, we're going to commoditize healthcare services and products. That's going to fix the healthcare problem. So what I would tell people is, if you really believe in open borders, you really believe in the movement of capital across the world. Well, if that person who has a legitimate engineering degree from a university in India versus your degree from the University of Michigan, you two are going to have to compete for that job. You're going to have to compete. And if you made the decision to go to an out-of-state school and get a master's degree that you didn't need, you got to live with that. You got to work a second job.
Yeah. Real quick, I want to jump in here. We're not getting comments from X. So if you have a comment, jump on Facebook or YouTube. For some reason, it's back to that stuff that they were doing earlier this year.
And if you're only on X and you're seeing this and you don't have a Facebook account, create one, and we'll answer your question next week. Anyways,
or if they have questions for me, they can go to my website and I'll talk to them directly.
And here's the website right here.
Perfect. Yeah, thank you, Marcus.
No problem.
So if we have, I'm going to ask you a quick question here, but the answer is going to be way more difficult than the last one. The last one was focused on fixing our federal government. I have a problem that's even harder. What does the Libertarian Party need to do to become serious national political force? Way more difficult than fixing our federal government.
I got some ideas, because I went to my first National Libertarian Party convention in Grand Rapids over Memorial Day weekend, and it was eye-opening and depressing. So I'm going to answer your question like this. We need to stop fighting. We're not big enough. We're not big enough to fight. We have to unite around personal freedom and economic freedom. I can't believe I went to a table at the National Convention and their literature said it is time for the Libertarian Party to split in two, into a radical group and the rest of y'all suckers.
Was that
And
New Hampshire?
no, it was the Radical
okay.
Libertarian Caucus. And
okay.
I said, we're not big enough. Let us, when we elect a president, yeah, then maybe we can think about splitting. But so my answer is we better start electing some people at the county and town level and stop fighting amongst ourselves. We have to. It is our other. I'll give you an anecdote. I have made my way to every municipality in my district, and it's about 35 of them in 5 different counties. And I was walking out of a meeting on a cold February night. It does get cold here occasionally, Marcus.
Okay.
It was a cold February night, and they were kind enough to have let me introduce myself. I was walking out. This gentleman came up, caught up to me. He said, "Hey, Bill, thank you. I loved what you hear." He said, "I'm a lifelong Democrat. I used to sit on this town council. I retired. I'm now on the zoning board." He said, "The Democrats and the Republicans across this whole country are at each other's throats. 50% of the people think the other 50% are batshit crazy." He said, is the Libertarian Party ready to give us a reasonable alternative? And I looked him in the eye and I said, "No, we're not. South Carolina has 46 counties. We're only organized in 22. That's ridiculous. We are the ones that left the country first. We're the most freedom loving. We had a fight in the Revolutionary War before Lexington. Look up the Battle of Sullivan's Island. We beat the British first. Forget Massachusetts. We beat them first. And yet we can only organize in 22 out of 46 counties. That's what we got to do. We got to stop fighting amongst each other and start electing some people, even if it's for dog catcher. Let's elect them and start building them up." The guy that's really helping me with my campaign, Ethan Mathis, is sitting over here listening. I have 5 goals in my campaign. One is to win 38% of the vote, 100,000 votes, first Libertarian in Congress. But one of my other goals is I want to find 3 young people, and I want to get enough votes, even if I lose, to show there's hope. And I want to find 3 young people that I can spend my last 25 years on this earth getting them elected to something.
Gotcha.
That's admirable.
As the
Libertarians, yes.
All right, there you go.
There you go.
I'm
Free.
young.
You're not that young.
Kinda.
You're not as young as me. Go ahead,
Well,
Free.
all of y'all are younger than me, so the bar is low.
I'm the youngest in the room, right? Free, even with your hair plugs. I'm just kidding.
That is correct. That is correct. Marcus might be older than you, but he dresses like he plays backyard baseball, so it's a disguise. So, all right, Bill. So let's talk about guns. We all like guns. In your platform, you talk about redirecting ATF resources. Why start there and not just go full out and abolish the ATF?
I'll be honest with you. I'm not sure I know enough about what ATF does, what their scope is, to just say totally get rid of them.
Afuera.
I just don't know enough yet. So that's something that I'd have to get a little more information about. Alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. Yeah, they should all be pretty much legal and self-regulating, right?
It should be a convenience store. Alcohol, tobacco,
yeah,
and firearms.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I do want to ask a question for our followers in the comments. If you see this, and Marcus, maybe plug it. Serious question, is there anything legitimate that the ATF does as a government organization that if you abolish them, you would want to see one of the other state governments actually continue to do?
Yeah.
Like if you abolish the ATF or there's something they did, why couldn't a state organization do it?
Right.
And although for example, in North Carolina, this bill, The state government here regulates alcohol. They have
Oh,
the
yes.
ABC.
Yes.
Now that should
That's
also
a
be
Southern
abolished.
thing.
Yeah,
That
absolutely.
should also be
Yeah.
abolished at the state level. But so that's not a good example of what
Right.
the ATF does. But I'm saying, anybody got anything out there?
Can I talk about the ATF real quick, because this is one of the most interesting facts about the federal government. The federal government has not truly increased the ATF's budget damn near ever.
Oh.
They still use microfiche for records, and their computer systems are archaic to all my hacker friends. And what I want to say about that is the model of a government agency that the federal government should always take. They should not be increasing their budget, and they must, ATF really has to justify its existence on a regular basis. And that's what government, it's bad enough they justify their existence through tyranny in our everyday lives, through taxation, flock cameras, and over policing, and all kinds of other things. But the ATF is like the redheaded stepchild of government agencies, and therefore it does not need to exist. But if we're going to have it, or any other government agency, that's what all government agencies should look like.
What, impotent, right?
Yeah, pretty much. It was like, okay, you need this? Yeah. What are they saying, Goodfellas? F you, pay me. You know what I'm saying? That abolish. Amnesty is coming in, abolish the ABC. I've never seen that. I grew up in California. I was born in Texas, but I've been here since I was 3 weeks old. When I went to college in Alabama, we were going to get liquor for homecoming, and it was like, oh, we got to go to the ABC. And I was like, what? Is that a store? You have a store called ABC? So yeah, when I get there and it says alcoholic beverage control and the state of Alabama, I was like, this is a state store. And then it was in Huntsville, Alabama. It was a blue county or Blue Monday, so that you weren't able to buy alcohol on Sundays.
Right.
There's no reason on God's green earth the government should be telling me I can't have a cold PBR when NFL football is about to come on the Sunday if I didn't have the consciousness enough to go buy it on Saturday before that. That's not liberty.
Hey, Charlotte, North Carolina did not allow Sunday liquor sales until the Panthers got there in 1995. Once the Panthers got there, the Panthers said to Charlotte, you will allow our fans to buy beer on Sunday morning or you're in trouble. And so the Panthers got that law changed in Charlotte.
Free market.
I know Bill's in South Carolina, but here in North Carolina, it's an anomaly. Like the state of North Carolina and Asheville is known as the craft beer capital of the Southeast.
Yeah.
But yet you still got the ABC Commission, which only controls liquor sales. But they got a weird thing going on here, too. In Florida, where Free's at, I don't think he's originally from there. I don't know how long he's actually lived in Florida. He's faking this Florida man thing. But ABC stores are a private company. They're not a government-run liquor store, but they do exist. And I don't know if they were originally government ran and now they're not. I don't really know. But
I don't really know.
You got ABC stores; they're just private ran. It's weird.
I don't really know if Free is faking the Florida man thing because he reminds me of those headlines all the time. But anyway, we're gonna start.
I just took an alligator to ABC the other day and made the news. So yeah,
there you go.
As we push up on our closing time, we're gonna start, with our last questions, and then we'll go to our last comments. So we're gonna go to Free on your last question of the night.
Bill, one of my favorite things that I've heard you say so far is that you want to help other young people get elected as libertarians. What would you tell young people in general why they should vote libertarian when we don't promise them money or socialism or all of these empty promises that the Uniparty promises them?
Well, first I have to set the example. of living my life like a libertarian, pushing for freedom. I just have to, I would say the short answer to the question is making sure folks know what happened 250 years ago, and be brief. This was the greatest experiment the world has ever seen, really. So start with a little bit of education. And then secondly, talk about the benefits of freedom versus socialism. And I use healthcare as the example. Wouldn't healthcare be great if the government and insurance companies got out of the way? So I will use examples of where the government just absolutely overwhelms your life. So that's what I would tell the young folks. It's what I tell my kids and now my grandkids. My oldest grandchild is 12. I'm trying to get her kind of thinking like a libertarian. All she wants to talk about is Taylor Swift, but I'm working on her.
Take 60% of her allowance. That's a really good. Right away.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it. The dad tax, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, the fry tax has done my belly well over the years. Yeah. Anyway, free was that it?
That was me. Yep.
Yep. And thank you for the encouragement, because I really, and I think I've found at least one here locally. There's a young guy who is in charge of our Colleton County Libertarian Party. He's actually run for state house once before, and I'm really working on trying to encourage him to learn from my race and jump in there again.
My whole plan, I don't think it'll cost a whole lot of money, is we should just bail out anybody that gets arrested for cutting down a flock camera, and we should just run them in the next election.
Yeah. They already got free press, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yep.
Are you recommending that for me to get more attention in the next 70 days? Just go down and start cutting down flock cameras?
I think that would be a great opportunity to raise some money.
Hey, you'll go viral for sure. And you know what? No. I will help you out with bail money. You have my promise with that.
Hey, the three of us, I got 5 on it.
Yep.
And we'll
cover it.
Real quick, everybody who's listening, watching, real quick, $5, $10, $15, $20. The website is up there. If you could kick in whatever you can, $100 will do a lot of damage. That's what is it? 5,000 text messages.
A perfect example. $100 gets me 2,500 text messages.
Okay,
there you go.
And I need 100,000 votes.
So quick, Eric, how many text messages will $10 get?
I don't know. That's Bill.
Public education, people.
I was told
I'm price per, but either way, send this guy $10.
And believe me, I will spend it wisely.
All right,
Bill. How much do we got to raise for you today to cut down one flock camera? Huh? Is that legal?
That's your final question?
I was gonna go back to something you were passionate about earlier. You basically said that Congress has surrendered too much power to the executive branch.
Yeah.
How did that happen, and how do we fix it?
Well, the number one way is back 100 years ago, presidents started taking more and more power, and then Congress said, "Well, if I want to get reelected, I just need to be, calm. I don't need to say no. I need to just, ride it out, and everybody will love me and let me win my next election." And Congress just lost its courage. And I think it's kind of a backwards way of looking at it. The founders were geniuses by making the House of Representatives face election every 2 years, because you have to face those voters every 2 years. But we let the government get so big, and there's so much power that you have in your hands in Congress, they're afraid to lose the power. So just go along, get along, don't fight the executive. And I also think there's a natural inclination for people to want a king. I hate to say it, but you look back through history, life under a king can be kind of easy. Yeah, the king's just going to tell us what to do. I don't have any power. Just let the king tell me what to do. And I think sometimes human nature lets that happen. And I think the genius of the founders is we regulate ourselves. And that's how we let it go. I think one of the classic examples was that Gulf of Tonkin resolution in 1964 or 63, I guess, shortly after Kennedy got assassinated. Lyndon Johnson wanted to expand that war, and yet nobody had the courage to say, no, we're not going to expand this war in Southeast Asia. And they gave this toothless resolution, which actually was based on a lie. The military lied about what had actually happened, and everybody panicked. So Lyndon Johnson went out and sent 58,000 people to their death. And it's just gotten worse ever since. I want to throw up when I hear a congressperson say, well, I'm waiting for the president to tell me what to do and how to vote. One of my opponents has taken an endorsement from the current president. Do you know how unconstitutional that is? How is she supposed to provide oversight to the executive branch when she is taking an endorsement from the sitting president?
Breaking news, it was the Democrat. I'm just kidding.
No, we look at your history. The last 20 presidents, the last 20 presidents have been 11 Republicans and 9 Democrats, and they all have taken power from Congress.
Yeah. I will say this. Well, I have a little bit. When Nancy Pelosi was leader of the House, I think she had a 3 or 4 vote margin. There was never, ever anybody who strayed from the way she told them to vote.
Right.
There were, just like I very much dislike giving Tubb any credit for anything, or free and giving free any credit for anything. That is impressive, because Republicans, they did have, with our guy from Kentucky 4, he stood on principle and for his district. And you don't see that. And that's why that's one of the messages that I think libertarians should try to get across to people, is when you vote for a libertarian, you're voting for somebody who is not beholden to a monolithic power.
Right.
And that's why it's important for people to start understanding what libertarianism is. Now, my final question to you,
sure,
because we both have a sports background, with you being a soccer and a basketball referee, what did you learn about humanity?
Oh, geez.
What did I learn about humanity? I learned that a lot of parents who failed at sports are trying to live their lives through their children.
That's not me.
Hey,
and it's
Marcus,
pretty sad.
I feel that's I feel that sports, but no. I kid you not. With my son, he got released, but he played a tad bit of professional baseball.
Oh, great.
But when we were trying to name him, I said, I don't care what his name is, as long as it sounds good over the speakers at Dodger Stadium. I was literally wearing a Dodgers hat and a Dodgers jersey. The jersey I gave to him, he has it right now. When he was born, the doctors are, all right, let's do this. He came, he handed it to me. I'm like, I don't get a robe or anything. But the dude wanted to play baseball since the moment he could walk. So shout out to him.
Seriously, I think the thing I learned, and I obviously officiated and coached team sports, is that a good team beats good individuals. I think I saw that so many times, especially on the soccer field where you got 11 on a team. A good team beats good individual play.
And that's why I will incorporate this into my last comment. And that's why I think libertarians need to jump out of this culture war bullshit that's going on in the duopoly, because culture wars are not a team sport, but liberty is a team sport, because my liberty is your liberty is my liberty. To Amity, to hell no, to the White Sox. It's all about the Dodgers. I'm struggling with baseball right now because of my son and whatnot.
About the Tampa Bay Rays, even though I'm North Carolina's got a team, right? I don't know.
All right. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna get your last. Well, real quick, I want to mention, because we actually are staying in South Carolina next week with Jessica Etheridge in District 4.
Oh yeah, she's a great candidate.
Yeah, so she's coming on next week. So shout out to Jessica. Thank you for that. And, thank you to Bill. We're going to give you your last, your closing statement. Then we're going to put you backstage if you want to stick around for after we're done.
Sure.
So without further ado, tell the people where they can find you. Well, let's start off with why they should vote for you and where they can find you. How about that?
Yeah. The why is this constitutional republic is the greatest government ever put in place. And if you believe we have to have at least a little bit of government, this is the way to go. But the genius that put it together 250 years ago, we have not taken care of it. Benjamin Franklin was asked after the Constitution was finished, what kind of government do we have? Do we have a monarchy? And he said, no, we have a constitutional republic if you can keep it. And we haven't. So that's why you should vote for me. It's the greatest form of government we could possibly have. It's too big, but the form of it is correct. So I want you to vote for me so that I can help restore that balance. And then we can get back to focusing on economic and personal freedom. And you can reach me at that ResideForCongress.com. You can donate. You can help get involved. We are in the throes of door knocking, phone calling, still fundraising. We need to find 100,000 votes, and y'all can come to Washington on January 4th and help me get sworn in as the first Libertarian in Congress.
Awesome.
I'll be there.
All right. And you don't even have to wear a tux.
Well, I'm going to wear one of my traditional. I wear suits to every convention I go to.
Okay.
They happen to be
tracksuits. He looks like uncool Mo D.
They're still suits. All right. And one more time, we're going to put up that website.
Thank you.
My bad. Reeside for Congress. And you had a pretty catchy phrase about not the left side, not the right side.
Yeah. Can I give that? And this is for name recognition. So, folks, there's no left side. There's no right side. We all side with Reeside.
There we go.
There we go.
I like it.
Thank you very much, Bill. We'll put you backstage and bring my other hosts to the forefront. But everybody go to Reeside for Congress. Please, $5, $10, $15, $20, $100 is nice. But whatever you can give, we truly appreciate that. Thank you very much to our guest tonight, Mr. Bill Reeside. Well, fellas, I want to thank you two for your time and attendance in this matter. I found you fair to adequate. I'm still going to figure out exactly which Wu-Tang personalities we're going to assign you throughout this process of spreading the message of liberty. Eric, what do you have to say and comment about tonight's podcast?
I think Tubbs the perfect ODB.
No,
just
I thought I was leaning towards Free being the ODB, but
I'm fine with that too.
More likely.
Yeah, but
thought Tubb would like that one.
All right, Free. What do you got in your closing comments for tonight?
I really like Bill a lot. Like, I think the challenge for us doing shows like this is to look at a platform like his and, try to figure out if he's a common sense incrementalist or if he's Republican light. And to me, he passed my test where I would sign up for what he's selling. Like, it's not exactly what I would do. I push back hard on the war stuff. I want to take out the war machine more than I want to take out the flock cameras. But, I think that he had really great ideas. You could tell he put a lot of thought into it. He is weighing the pros and the cons, what's possible, what's not possible, which I think we lack in the Libertarian Party. It's easy to go out there and just say, no to everything, cut every department, but we're not anywhere close to there today. So people that are running now and trying to get votes, I think they are in a precarious situation where they're trying to get money from libertarians and, run a campaign while at the same time appealing to voters who voted for this nonsense that we're living in today. So I really liked him a lot. Just a quick shout out. I just wanted to say we just got back from the Midwest Peace and Liberty Festival in Michigan at Lake Satoshi. That was an awesome time. They already put up the dates for next year. So if you go to mplfest.org, you can get information about next year. If you're anywhere near there, it's camping and it's really an amazing time. We had so much fun, and you can catch our replay of our live show that we did. We did our first ever outdoor live show, and Eric Brakey, Luke Broyles, and Ryan Brindley were on, and Ryan won because at the end of the show, he took the bait from my buddy Chris, and for 200 points, he jumped into the lake live on the show. And so we just had an absolutely amazing time, and they did a great job there. So shout out to them. We're off until next week, so no show tomorrow, but we'll be back, and then we'll start ramping up again. Our summer schedule will come to an end, and a lot of our travel is over with. So we'll be back, but it's usually Tuesdays and Thursdays, 8 p.m. Are You Smarter Than a Politician? Both of these fine gentlemen have been on multiple times. We try to have fun and teach people about liberty through an entertainment format. So, and thanks for having me on. Thanks for inviting me into the Wu-Tang caucus here, and I appreciate you both.
Word. All I have to say for shizzle nizzle about I like Bill because he's doing things for the right reasons, and you can say that about a lot of libertarians, but Bill doesn't have to be doing what he's doing. He's had a successful career, a father, grandfather. He could be focused on that, and yet I'm sure he is, but yet he's still trying to do what's right for America. And it's so important that Americans stop looking at, it's either this or that, and start looking at who's going to do what's right. And the thing about, the culture wars exist because they don't have good ideas anymore. All they have is you shouldn't vote for this guy because he's going to put some 450-pound, 6'9" dude on your 10-year-old soccer team, or, if you don't vote for this guy, he's going to make your 12-year-old daughter have some baby from a Afghanistan refugee when she was, it's extremes, and they don't have good ideas. So they have to be more sensational one after the other. While libertarians like Bill Reeside are just bringing like, hey, government shouldn't be anywhere near your life. I don't want to see the government in the news. I don't want to see the president every day. I don't want to see my congressman every day. They should be doing the bare minimum at every aspect in life. So that's why I love bringing people like Bill Reeside to the forefront, so libertarians can define what libertarians are, and you don't have to listen to these talking heads and pundits and people being paid 7,000 shekels or whatever they're paying Jake Lang. All these people that are getting paid by foreign bodies and people with business interests that aren't of the American people. So that's why we should be out here doing what we're doing. And I want to thank both of you guys for showing up. Shout out to Tub, Amity, Rob Yates. Is that all of us? The Wu-Tang Libertarian Caucus, Wu-Tang Liberty, as Free calls it. I'm going to let Free close this out with the closing statement of this podcast. After I say this has been the Black Powder Podcast. Free.
Live free or die.
One love to the people.